one of the very first things that Daniel and I connected on was that we wanted to have kids as we were in a relationship. And the path was long. Jackson came to us when he was 4 years old through foster care, and we were already on the path to adopting him. And then
a woman I previously worked with Facebook friended me and said, hey, mutual friends said you guys have been trying to adopt, and I've got a family situation where there's a birth mother who wants to adopt her child. And so we met them within a few days, and the birth mother called us on the way home and said, you guys are great and I want you to adopt my son. And so Peyton was born about 2 months later, and Jackson's adoption finalized the same month that Peyton was born. So we had 2 birth announcements, and we're moving to Iowa all in one communication to friends and family.
After the birth of Peyton, our second child, Daniel and I both decided that it would make sense for me to become a stay-at-home dad.
And I was really grateful for him to do that. I was grateful to be in a job and role that supported me from a salary standpoint, but also my management at the time was supportive of me being a new father.
It was a very rewarding experience to be a stay-at-home dad. I enjoyed going to story times and finding lots of mommy groups to join. There were not any daddy groups at the time. I ultimately decided around when Peyton was 3 years old that it was time for me to go back to work.
For work, Dad is a veterinarian and Daddy is a marketer.
I was originally hired as an analyst on the channel distribution and retail team, and so I did that for about 4.5 years before I moved into my current marketing role. As a marketing manager, brand lead for our corporate and specialty division as part of US Pet Care.
Prior to joining industry, I worked in clinical practice for about 6 years in emergency and critical care. A classmate of mine worked in industry, so I learned about opportunities and took a leap of faith, and now I'm a veterinarian working in the pet care medical affairs department of Zoetis.
It's pretty unique that we both work at the same company.
I think the coolest thing about Dad and Daddy's jobs is I think what they do is helps a bunch of animals around the whole world.
So if I were to give another working parent some advice, I'd say you have to step back and you have to realize it's not always going to be perfect, and that's okay. That's okay, but I can still accomplish everything that I want to accomplish in the day and still feel good about it at the end of the day.
So as a parent, being a teacher in their life is part of the role, whether we are actively, embracing that or not, we're teaching them the whole time. And things I want my children to take away from me as a parent is gratitude for the experiences we have in life and appreciation for others.
I can kind of see myself in those shoes when I'm older. I see the work piece being the biggest part of that. My dads have given me advice on focus on one thing at a time and don't just straight up give up.
One of my biggest philosophies as an individual in a workplace environment or elsewhere is truly being your authentic self and bringing your full self to work. One association I've been involved in for many years that is specific to the veterinary professional community is Pride Veterinary Medical Community. A recent platform that Pride VMC has worked on is the Gender Identity Bill of Rights, to really outline the rights of persons who are either transgendered, non-binary, or gender non-conforming. And we took this up our HR leadership levels and said, hey, Zoetis is very pro-diversity, pro-inclusion, pro-equity and belonging. Let's make sure we're walking the walk and not just talking the talk. And so by signing a document, it really makes a statement that Zoetis is committed to this space and serious about it.
Being selected as Zoetis' Working Parents of the Year is extremely flattering. I think my hope for both of our kids in seeing that we have professional careers is that you can work hard, you can play hard as well. So for as much as we work, we also try to have our vacation time, our family time, all of that time together. And I want my kids to be able to see that I can still do my job, but I can also still be there for them.
So learning about being named as one half of the Working Parents of the Year with AJ, jaw dropped on the floor, just incredibly humbled.
I think the best part about this is that as a gay man, as someone who always wanted children, it's really humbling to win an award when at one point in time it felt like we weren't going to have any kids.
Well, I am proud that they got the award, and yeah, I'm kind of excited too, because that means that they're famous.
What I hope is that for our children, that's a norm, that's like not a big thing for them looking back in the future. But for us, I think it's a huge milestone, and I think it's just an amazing moment that I truly appreciate and will always be grateful for.